Hello, this is Life Stories. My name is Justine, your host, and I warmly welcome you to the show. Today we investigate why sexual exploitation has become a big problem, and it's getting bigger by the day. It is very sad that in some parts of this country, Uganda, people are actually getting used to kinds of sexual exploitation like prostitution, voluntary or involuntary, and even human trafficking. Today Life Stories investigates why this is becoming a beast. Welcome to the show. Transactional sex in Africa is illegal in most countries. Nevertheless, it is common in practice, driven mostly by the widespread poverty in many sub-Saharan African countries. In Uganda, prostitution goes way back. Some call it evil and others prefer to call it unnecessary evil. Recently, it has taken a new twist where minors are involved as well as forced sufferers. Dina was born and raised in the areas of Kawempe in Kampala. When her father lost his job, the whole family was affected. Dina, who was only 16 years old, felt the pressure to cater for her family. You are watching Life Stories. We are at the Rahab, Uganda, a home in Chitetika that rescues and rehabilitates girls that have been through sexual exploitation of different kinds, like we're going to see in the show. Tell me about your family.
My family? I come from a family of 7. We are 4 girls and 3 boys. And my dad is an engineer, these local engineers. And my mother is a simple
A local engineer of what?
As in these people that build houses, you know, the small houses in that area.
So how many children are you in your family?
We are 7 children, 4 girls and 3 boys.
And you are?
I'm the third born of the first 3 girls.
Okay. What was life like before your parents stopped working?
At first, the life was okay because my dad used to get some little money from building. We could at least earn a living because my mother wasn't working by then. So he could get sometimes money and then we eat, and sometimes he couldn't get, then we could sleep hungry, so like that.
Where was the family living?
The family was living in Kawempe. It was an area of poor people, of course. We weren't all that rich, that, you know, it was like a slum there. It was in my senior 2 year, 2026, when my parents had no money to pay for my school fees. And then what I had to do was to try my level best and look for the money to pay my fees, and at the same time help my family as well. Because they had no money, my mother wasn't working and my dad wasn't also working. So I tried to look for jobs everywhere, from places, various offices, and since I wasn't qualified for any job, I couldn't get any job at all. You
know, when your parents stopped working, who told you that you had the obligation to take care of the family, especially in S2?
No one told me, so I just felt I can do that. That was what I had to do.
What was going on with the rest of the siblings, especially those that are older than you?
The ones that were older than me, they went away. I don't know where they went.
You mean they lost touch with the family?
Yeah.
So what was so bad at home?
The condition, the food, such stuff.
But you just told me that, I mean, you grew up in an environment where most of the people were poor.
Yeah.
So what situation is that gets you to think that, I mean, you can actually take a measure as drastic as going to, you know, to do this kind of job? What exactly prompted you to go start doing that?
Because my sisters had left, the first 2, they had left. So I was hurt. I was like, what can I do to help it? So that is why I came out.
What did you try to look? What jobs did you try to look for?
I wanted to work in a shop, boutique, such things. Anywhere, as long as I could earn some little money. But it was hard.
For how long did you look for these jobs?
It was in 1 year. Yeah.
So after 1 year, without finding a job, what did you think about?
That is when I got some friends of mine who were like, let us try this and this and this and this. I was like, oh, it's hard for me. I don't think I can do it. And that is...
What did they suggest?
They told me, we can get for you a job, as in you can join us and look for jobs.
What were they doing?
At first, they didn't tell me what they were doing.
So when did you take a decision to start to engage in prostitution?
And it was because of the friends I had that we had gone to look for jobs that side. And then that is how they resorted, we can do this and do this, and then that is how we went into the thing.
So somebody suggested it to you?
Yeah, a friend.
Mm-hmm. So when did you start doing it?
In that same year. In that same year.
So tell me about, you make this decision. Tell me about the first day you went to work.
The first day was, of course, bad because I didn't want it personally. But I had nothing to do. We went. It was in some area in Katanga, because that girl was from Katanga. So we went and it was like, okay, he didn't tell me the specific thing we were going to do, but he just told me, you come and spend the night today here. So I went and she was like, at night, because it was around 10, 11, then she told me, let us go to some friend of mine. Because for us, our family was a Muslim family, and we could put on those long things. Then we went, and she was like, you don't wear that one, put on this one, because she had some short dresses.
Like skimpy
skirts. So she told me, you can put on this, and let us go. That very night, I didn't know what we were going to do. So that is how.
But you said you had made the decision.
No, I hadn't made it that same day, because I also didn't know. I went to her at night. I went and, okay, I thought I was just going to spend a night there, and then tomorrow we go and sketch for jobs. But at night, she told me to go and that stuff.
And change clothes and everything.
Then I changed clothes and we had to move.
What was going through your mind?
No. What I wanted then was to just help my family to get some little money.
I mean, it's in the night and they're making you put on skimpy clothes, and you're walking to a certain place and they're telling you it's a job. Weren't you aware of what you were going to do?
No. At that time I was mad. I really needed money. So I didn't.
Dina met a group of girls who seemed to help her forget the troubles at home through drugs, drinking and partying. Later on, they introduced her to another sort of lifestyle. So tell me, what did they tell you when you reached the group of the girls? What was the progression of events here?
So herself, she didn't even tell it to me, that this is what we are going to do. But some other friends that were there, some other friends of hers, so they were like, you know what? Your friend told us about you, so this is what we are going to do, because we've tried to look for jobs and there is nothing we can do and you need money. So that is how they told me that this is what we have to do in order to get money.
So tell me about that night. Did business kick off?
Of course it did, because I had no alternative.
What did they tell you were going to do?
They told me, we have some friends of ours and you just have to go with them and then they'll pay you. They'll give you money.
Tell me about this life in prostitution.
Bad.
I can see that you're not yet over this, which is understandable. And I'm so sorry about what you had to go through. But did you ever go back home?
Yes, I had to go home. I went back.
And there was nothing like, where did you spend the night or anything?
No, because no one asked me that.
Why?
My mother wasn't like that. She couldn't ask me anything.
So did you take them money?
I had to buy for them things, because she also wanted the things and there was nothing to do. She couldn't ask. She couldn't.
So at that point, whatever help would come around, they would just take it?
Yeah, she could.
It wasn't important where things came from?
She couldn't ask.
Dina was making money, but the emptiness in her heart was something she could not stand. She was not sure whether to stop or go on, but an incident she will never forget provided the answer. So after the first night in prostitution, what was your heart saying? That you go back or you don't go back?
No, at first I didn't want it. But later and later I had to go back and
So when you left prostitution, so what happened to the family now? Because they still had to feed.
Nothing. No, I left that was when someone came and helped me out.
How did you meet that person?
That person? Okay. He came by. He used to pass by, maybe. Yeah.
Pass by as a passerby or as a customer?
No, a passerby. I was from someone's place. I returned. I had to go back because home was far. I had to go back to that girl's place. That someone hadn't given me money. It was late. So that is how I found the man.
So he stopped you? I mean, were you crying or something like that?
No, I wasn't crying, but I was hurt because the guy hadn't given me money. Yet I thought he would give me. He was like, how are you? Where are you coming from? I was like, at first I didn't even want to attend to him because I was so sad. Then he was like, where are you going? I told him I was going to some friend's place. That friend of mine. Then I directed him to the place and he was like, is it okay if I pass by tomorrow? Then I was like, it's okay.
So what did he do next?
He tried to talk to me several times. That is how he brought me to Mommy.
Mommy meaning the Madame Annette, the director of Rahab?
Yeah.
So what happened when you were brought to Rahab?
I was cancelled. Mommy spoke to me. She told me a lot.
So would you justify prostitution? Do you think it's a necessary evil?
Maybe. It is an evil. You're exploited.
Okay, do you believe it's an alternative?
No. No.
So what should they do? They should come to Rahab?
Yeah. They should change, they should quit it. Because it is not good.
What was your hardest, or what were your hardest moments during the time when you were engaging in prostitution?
That same time I met that person, because I went and I thought I would get money, but the guy used me and didn't pay me. Yet I was expecting to get money.
Oh, what would you do to people who would, to customers who refused to pay?
Of course you could do nothing. Nothing.
So your parents have never found out?
They found out. But recently,
what happened when they found out?
Oh my God, bad. I was surprised. They couldn't expect it. They couldn't believe it.
So they thought your friend was giving you the money all this time you were feeding the family at 16?
No, they thought I was working. It was too much for them, because even now.
How has life changed now?
Because, oh my God, life is okay now, because I'm studying. I went back and studied from the class I stopped in up to now at campus.
Thank you for having chosen to do things the right way. I'm glad you jumped over that hurdle and you're living a new life right now. You know by now, at least from her, that it's not an option. We're going to take a break, and when we return, we hear from Madame Annette, the director of this rehabilitation home, Rahab. We'll be right back.